How do I fund my independent film or web series?
$80? Oh, thank God my dad invented the dark web.
So this is a question I get asked a lot. And it's hard because, what, you're not independently wealthy? Probably not, or you wouldn't be here. Or you're just making fun of the proletariat. Either way, thanks for watching. So yeah, it's one of those things where even cheap films do cost a lot of money. I'm gonna sit down, get real with you all for a second. Because my first short film, for instance, cost, like $50 buying everybody In-N-Out burger afterwards. So you can make something super, super cheap for like a few hundred or a few thousand. But when you get into feature territory, 10,000 is still pretty low, to be honest. And most people don't have that money just like rattling around waiting to be spent. So it begs the question, where do you find the money to fund your indie film or fund your web series? And there are three main ways I think you can do it. There's crowdfunding, fundraisers, and product placement. So let's get into the first one, crowdfunding. This is when you beg people for money. It's that simple. Nobody wants to do this. Nobody likes doing this, but it is effective to go to people you know and say, hey, you're making this thing, you care about it, and can they possibly help you out a little bit? And what I find helps is setting a specific amount. Like your mileage may vary, but I found like saying something like even $25 helps a lot, you know? Like the number you say to people is what some people will do. And some people will go higher than that, and some people won't. Because the truth is, when you crowdfund, you get surprising yeses and you get surprising nos. So people who you're really close to who don't give you money, but people who you worked with 10 years ago at Dunkin' Donuts and give you money. The key is you can't just do Kickstarter, Seed and Spark, GoFundMe, and hope that's it. You do need to talk to people to get the crowdfunding really going. So remember that. Making those connections with people is very important. And then the second way is fundraisers. So fundraisers, my policy is always to make them very fun for people. Put the fun in fundraiser. And this seems like I wrote that down. I didn't. This is off the cuff. But yeah, don't just make it all about supporting your project. You want to make sure people get something out of it. This is why with like Kickstarter, people always have incentives, because people don't just want to feel like they're helping you and that's the end of it. They do want to feel like you respect their time, you respect their money, or doing something for them. So, you know, obviously you could just screen like some footage you have, but I try to make it more creative. Like we're doing one this month that's like a lip sync smackdown, and it's also a cooking competition. I find that finding a way, whether you're cooking for it or asking friends to help out, to give them food, give them drink, give them entertainment, then people are a lot more willing to kindly support you. Again, though, it does involve going to your friends and being honest about what you're looking for. But you might be surprised sometimes an acquaintance comes through, or a new friend too. And the final way is product placement. D.
This is too many options.
This one is the hardest. This one can work out the best, but it doesn't work without a personal connection or metrics. So personal connection. Obviously, if you know someone who runs a company, then you can ask them, hey, would you like to feature your product in my thing? Now, some of us get really lucky in this world, and I know someone who like got a law firm that sponsored their film to the tune of $250,000. I have never succeeded on that level. I applaud the person who knew someone like that. Typically, it seems like what people will go for, and you know, my research kind of confirmed this, is like a company will give you between $1,000 and $5,000, depending on how valuable they think you are to them. But part of that is metrics. So proving to them in some way that you are worth it. So do you have a high number of followers or subscribers on a platform? Do you have specific followers or subscribers? Are you already on some sort of distribution platform that has reach? Are you going to like, you know, be doing local screenings and they're a local company that would really benefit from that exposure? You need to, again, show them how what you're doing is useful to them as well. So yes, financing an indie film or web series is not easy. There's the age-old crowdfunding, which involves connecting with a lot of people, old and new, to try to bring the funds together. And I've seen anywhere from a few thousand to 150,000 raised this way. But I would say for the 150,000, it needs to spread in a far way on the internet. Then there's fundraisers, which is usually a more local thing. It's not to say you won't get like people that you don't know as well attending. But there are factors to consider, like where you're hosting it, because then you'll lose some of the money, obviously paying the venue or paying per head for the door price. And then finally, there's product placement, which is the hardest to achieve. It involves writing representatives of companies if you don't know them already, but it can be the most lucrative. You just need to have a good reason why they would need to want to give you some sort of funding. It isn't easy what we do as independent filmmakers.
You don't have to tell me the truth all the time.
But especially when the climate is so tough right now, you get to have creative control this way, you get to make something you're proud of, and you get to be in the industry this way. Because with our independent comedy series, it started as a 10-minute short and then ended up being 2 seasons, and we're working on season 3, and we do all of the things I've discussed with you. So good luck, ask me anything you want, and I really want to see your films and projects come to life. It's time.